It's the Imperfect Gardener here, gardening for weight loss, and do as I say, not as I do. Real important to come out early in the morning, and that was my plan today. I planned on coming out early in the morning. I was going to plant zucchini and squash and stuff in my rows over here. And guess what? I had to go and run some errands this morning, and I didn't end up getting out here into the garden actually working till 11:30, which is the time I always say go in and rest. But I get a little stubborn once I get going on something. I thought, well, I'll just work till about noon, just 30 minutes, and I'll go in. Well, as I started working, here's what I realized, okay? Listen, I did one thing right. I got on a long sleeve shirt, keep the sun off my arms, and I wore my headband, keep the sweat off my head, and I made it nice and thick, keep a little sun off there. But I'm betting the back of my neck got way too much sun, because guess how long I've been out here? 2 hours in the very middle of the day, 11:30 to 1:30. Dang, I feel good physically right now, but I'm probably going to be sorry I was in the hot sun at all that time later on. We'll see. I drank a lot of water, though, so hopefully I'll be fine. I'm going to go in a minute to rest and then have some lunch, and then I'll come back a little later to finish up what I was doing. But here's why I got busy. Here we go over here. I was getting ready. I flattened this row down a little bit more here that needs to be planted. And the second one needs to be planted. It wasn't finished being raked up. I raked it up. But as I was thinking about putting up, I've got this thing right here. It's going to go up straight like a trellis to put my cucumbers on this year. And I was thinking, well, I'll just get it right over here near where the corn is, but not too close. What I used to have right here, right along, I had this corn here, but right along here, there's this whole section about 2.5 feet wide that was still grass here. It was up high. It was a mess, big long story. At one year I had tried to put some stuff over it. What's that stuff called? I'm going to wait till the neighbor goes by, and then I'm going to cut that part out of my video, because I think I'm clever enough. If it's too loud, we'll see. But anyway, I had one year decided to put stuff around the edge of my garden. I was putting down this landscaping stuff and then putting down some mulch, putting little plants and marigolds around there, just making it look real pretty around the edge of the garden. Well, I did that part down there, I thought pretty well, and then I did this side over here, and this is what this looked like. It's a little higher up than everything else right along this edge here, because what it was I had dumped some extra sod and stuff that I pulled up over there along that edge. And then I just had this great idea that instead of taking all the grass up that year, I would just put down some landscaping fabric right on top of the grass, right? And it'll kill it. It's only like 2.5 feet go along here. So I put that down there. And then I ran out of mulch and didn't get mulch on top of this section. Anyway, it wasn't done well enough because the grass grows through. If you don't take the grass up, it just grows through, and it grew through that landscaping fabric. I had all this grass growing up through, so there was grass growing on top of the landscaping, through the landscaping fabric, whatever. And I ended up just leaving it there year after year. It was this big mound, and I had to be real careful when I mowed it and stuff because it was hard to do. So I thought, I got out here today, and I'm like, you know what? I want that gone. So something got into me, and I said, I'm just going to do it. So I started over here with my hoe and started just trying to scrape the grass off with the hoe. And as I did that, I'm like, this is way too difficult. You know what? So it's pretty high. The grass was pretty long, like about almost a foot high on it right now. I thought, you know, my rototiller is going to grab that grass, wrap it around the rototiller thing, and just rip it out of the ground. So I'm going to get my rototiller out. So that's what I did. Got out my rototiller. I started tilling this. As I brought my tiller out to do this, I was like, you know what? Way down there in those first 3 rows, I could put my rototiller down in between the rows right now because there were weeds growing. Pause for the lawnmower. We'll see if I actually cut that out or not. I may or I may not, depending on how loud it sounds on here. Anywho, I couldn't just bring the tiller over here and do what I had decided to do. Instead, I had to go down there at that end first, and I was like, I'll just till in between those first 3 rows because they've got a little bit of weeds starting to come up. So I whipped through there and took the weeds out of there, the tiller. The rest of the rows weren't that bad because the one on the end, those had been planted like a month ago. So I did that. Great workout, feeling good, getting exercise, pushing the The tiller pulls itself somewhat, but you got to hold on to it. And so it does take some energy and strength. I had raked up this section, which took some energy and strength, pull out the tiller, did that down there, came down here and just started ripping all through this, and the tiller ripped through it great. Now I'm going to need to go through with my rake and rake out a bunch of the grass so that it's not just under the ground there. I think I need to rake it out. If I come out here with a rake in a little bit, I'll rake through it, and I'm going to pull a bunch of the grass out that's just got tilled under there. And then I'll be able to finish raking the rows. And I think I could do another 1, 2 rows here. I could even, yeah, I think I'll do 2 more rows here. Might be able to put 3 if I put them closer together, but I don't like putting them close together because I like to be able to work between them. So I'm going to do 2 more rows, which will leave me 4 more rows that I still need to plant. Anyhow, I'm excited that I got that done. However, I'm sitting here thinking, Catherine, why did you do that? You've been out here in the middle of the day, 11:30 to 1:30, in the heat of the sun. That's what you told everybody not to do, especially if you're overweight. Sun's hard on you. But I'm hoping, since it wasn't the first weekend I did it of the summer, I'm hoping that my body's getting more accustomed to the sun anyway. I think I've just come to the conclusion that I actually like being out in the sun. I like working in the sun. The mosquitoes don't bug you midday. I like it. So I've got to make myself quit doing it so much, though, because it's I'm going to have a major sunburn on my face, I know. Anyhow, I've got a lot of work done, though, and this little corn patch is just going to stay sticking off the end down here, and we'll decide later in the summer if we want to take up any more grass or something. We could do that, but right now I don't care. It's just a little section sticking off the end. It's kind of odd, but it'll work. So I'm going to go inside, and I am going to have something to eat, drink some more cold water, see how bad the sunburn on my face is, and I'll be grateful that I at least wore these nice long sleeve t-shirt here to keep the sun off of my arms. I am a testament, though, to the fact that you can do more than you think you can. So here I am, 323 pounds is my guess. That's what I was a few weeks ago at the doctor. My scale won't weigh me because I weigh too much. It just says OL when you stand on it, digital. And it says OL, which means, at first I thought it meant overload. Okay, wait, you gotta see my face because I just think it's, I know, you know what, right, we shouldn't laugh about being overweight. Being overweight is not good and it's scary and everything, but I remember a few years back when I had gained some more weight and gotten up to where I am now. I remember getting on the scale one day and it said OL instead of having a number, and I was like, oh my gosh, it says overload. Overload, I'm overload. Actually what it means is over limit, and it won't weigh you because you're way too much. So I'm working on it. I'm going to get to where I'm not over the limit anymore, and then I'll be able to tell you how much weight I've lost. I am a testament, though, to the fact that you can do more than you think if you're careful. Of course, I wasn't careful today. I was careful. I had long sleeves. I drank lots of water, and I was wearing a skirt. Funky as I look, I was wearing a skirt because it gives me a little, keeps me a little cooler. I wore good shoes, actually, today, since I was using the tiller and the rake and everything, instead of going barefoot, so that was good. I did some good things. You can do more work than you think you can. So if your doctor is giving you a clean bill of health and told you that you're not going to have a heart attack today or whatever, then don't be afraid to get out there and work yourself. You're going to sweat and you're going to get tired, but you can do more than you think. I did a whole bunch of work today, and not only that, I'm going to go in and rest. I'm going to come back out later and plant some stuff. The other thing that I do have to tell you, though, is that I did this slowly. Like I said, 2 hours, but some people might have done all that work in 1 hour. So I do take it slow. I take it slow and steady so I don't completely kill myself. So I'll come back out this evening, and I will slowly go through and plant the plants I want to do. Just take my time. And that's another way that you can get it done when you're a hefty woman like me. Someday I'm going to be smaller. Keep staying tuned. Have fun gardening and losing weight.